Hey guys, Tim from Halo here. Today we're looking at the CRM. Let's jump in. So here you can see we have a trial of Halo. Today we're going to have a look at the CRM. When we created the CRM about 5 or 6 years ago at this stage, we did a lot of work to benchmark it across other leading CRMs out there, such as HubSpot and Salesforce. And you can manage outbound leads nowadays, as well as doing lead management and opportunity management and quoting and e-signature all in a single tool. Let's have a look and see how that works together, shall we? So as we open up the space here on screen, you can see on the left-hand side, we have the leads area. This is a team based around your SDRs, your BDRs, people who are managing outbound lead prospecting. You can open this up and see what leads are in the queue, as well as on this unassigned queue over here, you're able to hook this up to mailboxes. So if you have a contact form on your website that fires to a particular mailbox, or if you just have Sales app hooked up and someone emails in, it can generate a lead directly into the platform, and you can then go from there and move that on further into the flow as you would expect. Down here we have the opportunity space. These are your live deals, if you will. And here, the data flows from one area into the other. So you can have a lead, progress and become warm, open into an opportunity, and then it becomes wider options for how you want to run the opportunity, who runs it, and what's included within that. And then from there, there's the ability to do full quoting, e-signature, and then move it on into like a contract and a project, and then move it across to the project team for them to sort of pick up and run. So if we also look down on the left-hand side, we have two different list views. So over here, we have today's plan. So this is the today's plan space is just a singular list of all the opportunities and leads that are associated to you. So this is basically when people dynamically log into the platform and on the sales team, jump into this area. This is all your work in one place, and you can see the current pipeline, trajectory, size of deal, how hot it is, your activity you've done against these deals as well. Very handy to go and look in here. And you can see as well, these columns are customizable. So if you don't like how this looks, you can play around with them accordingly. There is some nice out-of-box functionality as well, just pre-set up as part of the default trial. So for example, we have your sort of, how hot the lead is and also how much it's worth with the value. So we see here we have a primary sort against the next activity date. So basically, if these all have dates against these, you'll be able to see the closest to today at the top of the screen. And if it goes past today, it will glow red. If you have multiple deals all on the same day and you're running out of time, it will actually prioritize the secondary sort, which is the opportunity value. Opportunity value is very easy to see here. So this guy on screen, you can see that is a nominal value based on how big the deal is and how hot it is as well. So if you do have sort of limited time in your day left, you're being most cost effective with the time you're spending working on your opportunities. So with all that said, by the way, this is all drag and drop, which is quite fun. So you can actually just move these around, drag and drop on top of one another to link or merge them together. If you get multiple or merging opportunities coming into your funnel. I would say as well, if I go to click new over here, let's start on the lead, shall we? So let's just wind this right back and let's act like we have a brand new customer who's getting in contact, and we can run that from start to finish. So we click new. Top left of the screen, you see we have a lead. Let's say this is an existing client, and you can type this in and fill this out. If they aren't existing, you can populate this information in real time. On the right-hand side, I have the ability to then add some content around this, but also as well, I'm about to take you through quite a large sales cycle, assuming it's like a very large sort of IT managed service deal with lots of intricacies around this, where if you wanted to do a single stage quick quote for an existing client, get it done, get it sold, it's possible to do. And it's even possible to create opportunities from a service desk ticket. So if you have an existing client, email in to the service desk and they've broken the laptop and they need to buy a new one, you can make that really seamless from one end to the other. So let's jump in, shall we? And let's say they're going to try and buy a managed service of some description plus some hardware, just for today's example. These fields, by the way, the summary, the details, and others on this screen are customizable. Drag and drop and create your own. So let's say this deal is worth, I don't know, about 20,000 a year, shall we say? And then over here, let's say they want it done by the end of the month. Down here, there's a nice tags ability, so we can add in sort of if it's a hardware deal, if it's a laptop, if it's a new managed service, we can add these in, and it makes tracking and following deals we're doing very easy. We can search for the tag and we'll find the rest of the deals that all have that tag associated. On the right-hand side, you can have hot, warm, cold. Let's make them hot, shall we, for this one? And you'll be able to also add in other fields that you see fit. So if there is something in your business today that you capture up front, Halo is really easy to add in codeless fields, checkboxes, drop-downs, rich text fields, whatever info you wish, and making it mandatory to fill out so your sales guys follow them for reporting purposes and stuff like this. Just to make a note there, this is the default out-of-box trial configuration. So I've now clicked save, as you can see on screen, and this is what a sort of a deal in Halo feels and looks like on here. I also wanted to mention the pipeline view on the left-hand side. This guy is a drag and drop Kanban, just sort of taking a step back, and you can see we can sort of drag and drop deals across the screen, maybe ones that are just relating to us, and you can customize what's on the card, and you can open this up on screen if you prefer to have like a drag and drop deals board as they've progressed through, as you can see. So jumping back once again, let's jump into this guy. Here it is. So you can see at the top of the screen, we have this workflow, entirely customizable. It comes out the box with a lovely simple setup, as you can see. And then from here, because it's in the unassigned queue, you can pick this up and click claim. It will take it out of the unassigned queue, as you can see, and then it'll pop it into my queue over here. So I now have 2 leads in my queue today. If I open this up, you can see from here it is, and I can now start progressing this deal. So typical CRM activity, let's say, you want to do a follow-up with someone. Over here, you can add in what it will be, or if you want to add into your calendar at a certain time. Let's say you're going to do a follow-up on Tuesday next week. I can go down to here, add in this activity against this deal, and you can see here that that's now been added against. And but by the way, there's a 2-way dynamic integration into Outlook calendars using the Graph API. So there's the ability to have it sync both ways. So if you add it into Halo's deal here, it will appear in your calendar, making it very easy to follow along. Taking a step back, you can see now on the right-hand side, we have our follow-up date set. So when all your deals, obviously, like we saw earlier, have this, it will make it easy to follow along. So elsewhere in here, if I wanted like a private note, which the customer or the client or the prospect can't see, I can go into here. I can also mention my colleagues and add in some content if I wanted to, so that we can collaborate and win deals together. There's also the ability as well for a lot of customization here to go ahead and create actions which can create connected tasks or child or parent arrangements. There's a lot of control here for how you might want to run this opportunity, just to let you know. So also as well, with like most other CRMs out there, there's like, if you're emailing outbound, there's like an Outlook plugin, or maybe there's a BCC link. In Halo, we have full on, if I go to config, go down to the sales area, there's something called sales mailboxes over here, which allow your team to basically add in their Google or their Microsoft account, and we start scanning that for the person you're speaking to in the email address. We then do active lookups in real time against that person in Halo to see if they have any active opportunities, and then we'll take any content that is sent across and we'll automatically put it into the system. So there is no manually adding in conversation into Halo. You can focus on the deal you're trying to win, And Halo will basically bring through all conversation. And you can see on screen, we have a filter for conversation. So you can see basically a big feed from start to finish, sort of oldest to newest, of everything that's happened. So if you have sales guys who are out of office, who are busy maybe, you'll be able to add in that, and you can see if your other sales staff are picking up their work, what they said previously, or maybe you have a superstar salesperson who's able to get deals through a certain part of the funnel very quickly. You can see what they're saying and how they're working. And that can be a really cool way to get some visibility into what's going on and how you're working with your prospects and your clients. Scrolling down here once again, if I go to click qualify now, you can see here I have some opportunity to add in some information. So if I say, it's 95% likely to convert, and we say it's a hardware deal, you'll see this triggers some automations that are pre-baked into Halo, such as we're going to go and try and find the person's website based on their domain of their email address, as well as over here, as you can see, we've also taken a stab at their LinkedIn URL as well to go and grab some information. You can call third-party services to populate rich information, such as the size of the company, how long it's been around, its maybe its total revenue, to get to enrich the data you have in the platform. Stuff like that is on the table, and you can configure that with relative ease if you wanted to. Over here, if I also click something like, if I change this from hardware to new managed service, you can see we have additional fields pop out. This is called dynamic visibility. Basically, based on my inputs, other fields would appear. So if I say they have a new managed service, we can assume that we then want to know more about the team. So we can say, oh yeah, they are this big, they heard about us through Google search, and they are in, I don't know, healthcare, shall we say. And from here, this allows you to, with mandatory fields, start capturing data points that you see fit, and you can then combine that in reporting later on to get visibility. So if you have a certain type of customer that's a great fit, really profitable, that's working really well for you guys, you can start looking at the data and seeing where you're getting those deals from, and then apply a marketing resource accordingly to go and win more deals like that. Scrolling on down, if I then click save, it will progress from stage 1 to stage 2 that you can see. And then from here, I can go off and click convert to opportunity. So let's say, we've had a cold lead or an inbound lead we've had a couple of back and forth interactions with, shall we say. From this point, we'll be able to go ahead and convert this into an opportunity and move it from the leads area into an opportunity in the sales team over here. So if I open this guy up, click into unassigned, I should push it under myself. You can see here it now lives. So you can choose at that step who that person is receiving the opportunity might be, because sometimes your BDRs, your BDMs, and your SDMs and your BDMs aren't the same people. So you can choose at that step who to give it to. You can do some auto routing based on the type of deal. There's lots of scope there you can definitely play around with. So let's open this guy up on screen, and let's go ahead and click qualify once again. So I'm now picking this up as a AE to run this deal as I see fit. And this is where there's a lot more, you can play around with some control here. So there's a drop down with templates. So if there are different types of deals that you run, or if you have a typical Azure migration project, something like this, you can this up. And these templates can fire a lot of different structure together based on scripts, and you can have subtasks being pre-created, and you can have custom fields apply. Lots of control here, so you have total scope and ability to create and reflect your dream sort of process if you wish to. So a lot of this information has been filled out from previous expectations. Clicking save, you'll see it'll go from stage 1 to stage 2. And with these actions at the top of the screen, these are entirely customizable. So there are like 15 actions that occur throughout the entire sort of sales cycle. But because we have this workflow apply over here to this opportunity, it's reducing these down and only showing you the right ones at the right time, which is really handy, and you can create your own here. but basically it's enforcing a process. So if you have a new deal come in, it means you have to qualify and triage that deal before you can quote or close it. So there's some nice things you can enforce at scale. You can see here as well on screen, there's been some additional tabs that have been applied, as you can see. So we have a statement of work over here, and this guy has applied a pre-created template over here, as you can see. And this guy can be pre-canned if it's a simple sort of job that you're doing. This can also be, if you want more structure here, something I've seen in my time is people will have at this step, when they apply that template, they will have a subtask applied, typically open up in the projects team in Halo. And your guys will pick that up. They will, take the content from the lead. They will go on site, organize a meeting, get some data to create that statement of work, and they can collaborate on that, and they can drag and drop it onto the screen. They can just add it into this rich text area, which can also contain imagery and grids and everything else. And when they go to accept that, it can push it through an approval process where the head of the projects team can be like, yep, we're happy to commit to this. And then all that information gets added onto the opportunity, notifies the salesperson, and it means that you can basically contain that entire piece in one platform with relative ease, and it can notify and move that step forward, basically. Also at the top of the screen, something we added in recently, which I'm also going to add into this example, is the ability to create statements of work using AI, which is pretty crazy. So what this is going to do, it's more for the project creation step, but what's going to happen here is we're going to pass this through OpenAI, this content, and we're basically going to have it analyze and create tasks and milestones automatically. So instead of manually creating a project with different subtasks or applying a template, which you can still do, the next level that we found here that's available in Halo out the box is the ability to scan a statement of work, build out all the structure for us, which will save hundreds of hours a year for PMs that work in the platform. To the right, we also have executive summary. These fields, by the way, you can create your own. And you can add them onto this stage, and it's going to pull it through into the quoting step that we'll see shortly. So you can see the executive summary, why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting, and then the final thoughts. Down here as well, you can click to edit these, and you can see we have Acorn Construction, a lovely Acorn logo. So you can add this in, you can play around with this. No real sort of barriers here. If you wanted to create a custom experience, there's options to do so. On the right-hand side, we have the last one, which is the T&Cs in this example. So these are standardized T&Cs. You can choose to make these available or not, pre-populated with your standard agreements. And you can make adjustments here if it's been reviewed by the client and you want to change it. Options on the table. So with all that said, let's go ahead and create a quotation on top of the opportunity, shall we? So when I click Raise Quote, we're going to be opening up the quoting space inside of Halo. In here, we can add in what sort of deal it is. And then from here, you can see we have these different options on the screen. So just to whiz through these, we have the ability to add product onto the quotation, the proposal. There's also ability to create bundles or groups of these automatically from pre-created templates. There's the ability to call third-party services like Ingram Micro, PAX8, and TD Synnex, as well as using third-party services for free like ITIL-aligned that we provide, where if the client is looking for a very specific SKU of a product, we can click ITIL-aligned over here. We can go ahead and look for like a Dell XPS laptop, search for it, and then it's going to do a lookup against a third-party source, as you can see, and then you can bring that into the quotation. And when I click create, it will add it straight onto the proposal, and then we can choose any information around it that we wanted to, click save, and it adds it as a line onto the document. If I'm honest with you, what most teams do that I work with is they'll just go ahead and click add new bundle, and we can add this in. So if I go ahead and click, let's do add product bundle, we can add these in. So like let's add in a laptop group, shall we? And then click add all. This is going to populate this information straight out, as you can see. So we have the top level, which is the bundle line, and then we have the sub items that live within the bundle. I can also scroll down over here and see all the information, tax, profit, etc. Regarding this. By the way, a lot of teams I'm working with are bundling nowadays. So if you're selling a gold managed service and it contains 20 items within that package, you might not want to put all of that onto a proposal sometimes, because there might be some sub items on the screen that are a nominal amount of money that you might get into a load of horse trading with a client. So you can go ahead and sort of bundle that together, and if you wanted to, so you can really play around with the experience, how it appears on the screen, what it looks like. Definitely some opportunity there. I'm also going to add in a final bundle as well. So we'll throw in a new managed service, throw it onto the screen, as you can see, and I'm just going to add in some words as well. And then on the right hand side, you can pre-create a bunch of templates. These are full rich text or full custom HTML, so you can really play around with what you want that to feel like. If I'm honest with you, what most teams do is they'll pass over their dream proposal as part of the onboarding process to Halo, and we recreate that inside of the platform and move it along as part of that, so you have it day one. But certainly you have total control with, without to have some high-end skill sets to play around with that look and feel if you wish to. So if I go ahead and grab, so there are some examples here I should mention actually. So a short quote is a one page, get it done, get it sold. Want me more details, explains your services, who you are, and stuff like that. If you're dealing with a prospect you've not dealt with previously, I'm going to go ahead and click the formal proposal on the screen. When I click save, it's going to basically open that out onto a brand new tab for me. And then I can click send, and it's going to take the proposal I just created. It's going to convert it into a PDF. It's going to attach it to an email, apply an email template, all in a single step. And from here, we can just click send to the client. I can scroll down. This information here can be customized. You can remove this, as you can see. Scrolling down further as well, you can see what's included in the proposal and then the total margins all in one spot. At the top of the screen, I can go ahead and click here and open link. And from here, this will open out that proposal onto a brand new page. And I should also mention as well, at the top of the screen on this side, there's the ability, if you have a new deal that comes in that's similar to the type of deal here, if you wanted to, you could just clone this, rename it, and then send it very quickly to send out quotes to clients if you wish to. There's also the ability to do revisions in Halo. So if you are sending a mandatory setup of products to a client, you have the option to, instead of having to recreate the entire thing, you can totally go into here and give them the ability to sort of have a copy of this. If I click revise, you'll see it will do -1, -2, -3, so you can see which version of the quote they sign, for example. Scrolling down as well, I'm going to go ahead and edit one of these items. So if I click edit on, let's say, the keyboard over here, we have a lot of scope to play around. So we can choose what it's called, who it's from, the SKU, the quantity, the cost, the markup, the price, the tax, the discount. We can make it optional as well if we wanted to. So we can have like a nice to have alongside a mandatory item for a sort of upselling opportunity. And then down here at the bottom, there's the ability to do sort of full CPQ. So there's a lot of CPQ functionality coming together in Halo, and this is some of the early examples of it. One that I'm seeing a lot more usage nowadays is the leasing and financing. So if you have a big ticket item for sale, you can actually have installment payments over a period of time, even with an interest rate, to make selling big things easier. So from here, when I open this up on screen, you'll see that this is your portal experience. Just for reference, this will be your URL, your colors, your logo, your background, your font, etc. And you can choose if it renders the raw HTML, or you can choose if it has an Adobe embed if you wish to. But I'm seeing a lot of the world right now moving towards sort of this view where we have the raw HTML rendered, and you can really play around with this. But this seems to be the most popular that I'm seeing today. Scrolling down, you can see we had the executive summary that we saw earlier, the customer testimonial and Acorn construction. Here's the statement of work that we had created, as you can see. The proposal, one-time costs, everything, annual recurring, and it's already countersigned from our side. Worth noting as well that you could add in your own sort of colors, fonts, backgrounds, everything, and you can make this feel how you want it to feel. It doesn't say Halo anywhere on this experience, and you can build on this. This is the out-of-box trial experience, I must reiterate. You have here your sort of T&Cs, and then the ability to accept. When I accept it, I can scroll on down, as you can see, and I can add in comments. I can add in a PO number if I wanted to, and I can also require a signature on screen, which is pretty good. There's also the ability as well to click products there and adjust the quantity or remove things or add things if I wanted to give that option. But yeah, from here, if I now go back into the opportunity and just don't touch anything, you'll see it now starts progressing down the sales cycle, and it will auto create and attach the sort of proposal. It's going to it's going to create the sales order automatically, as you can see, and sort of the job's been won. And you can add in and create notifications if you wanted to, via Teams, via SMS, whatever you want to do, to notify your sales staff that they've won a deal. You can add in nice, champagne emoji bottles into that if you wanted to. Lots of choice, but that sort of process is all done up to this point. So that was the whole sort of like first hello, conversation, e-sign, close. And then the next step is that in Halo, very specifically, everything runs through the sales order. So if I open up the sales order connected to the opportunity and then run to the right, you can see here's all the buttons I need to go and click to then fulfill this order. You can have these all completed at once automatically, but I think in the trial it's set out like this just to show you how it works. So in here, I can click Create Agreements. Who it's for, generate a reference, scroll down and click Save, adding in all that information, and it's done. And I can then add in a recurring invoice as well if I'd like. So I can add in a new line, and I can choose the schedule from this point. And then from here, I have the ability to then set that schedule up against that contract and add it against the client. And from this point, it's just creating the templates against the jobs. So I'm now going to go and create the project, and then basically go and add all the different items against this. And over here, I'm going to create the project against the other item as well. These can combine if you wanted them to, but in this example, they're all sort of it's two different products. And over here, I have the ability to go and order the items as well if I wanted to. So if I wanted to go and order the laptop, let's say, because I know it's going to take longer for whatever reason, I can say who it is, who I'm going to get it from, click Save. Here's a nice step. You can deliver it to you, the MSP, to package up and maybe image the product, image the laptop and put it back in the box and then take it to the client. Or you can just send it directly to the user if you wanted to. I'm going to have it delivered to us just to show you some more steps here. And I'm going to leave a couple unticked just to show that as you progress through a project on different milestones, you have the ability to pick and choose which hardware you order and when you like. So if I go back to the home page now, that was the entire process, and that's now created the entire project. But that was essentially the CRM inside of Halo. So that was how you run an entire deal from start to finish inside of Halo. Hopefully you found that useful, and any questions, do get in touch, but I'll leave you there. And the next video, we'll dig into the project that we just created and we'll run that through from start to finish. Thanks for your time.